Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kinda Queer podcast, hosted by a couple of kinda queer folks. Today, I am joined by another special guest I will have introduced themselves in a little bit here. But first, I just want to say, because I haven't really had the chance, this person I went to high school with also, and very fun fact. I was one of the founders of my school's video club and news show, and I'm very happy that this person helped take over after I left because she's very talented and very good, and I'm very happy that she did that. So thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Maddie, and I'm trying my best over here.
I guess because this is the Kind of Queer podcast, we gotta talk about queer things, you know?
Obviously.
I guess the first question that I have is you are lesbian, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now I want to know how.
Women.
That's a good response. I mean, aside from
Yes.
women, how did you know that you were lesbian?
I think I kind of knew from a very young age. Like I didn't even know what a lesbian was, but like I kind of just like I never had a crush on any guy. Like in elementary school, my friends are like, "Oh, who do you like? Who do you like? Who do you like?" And I'm like, "Nobody." They're like, "You gotta like somebody," and I'm just like, "No." But then I think around middle school, when I kind of learned what being gay was, I'm like, oh my God, this might be me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a few years of internalized homophobia later, here we are.
Nice. Gotta love that internalized homophobia. Fully
Oh,
feel that.
that shit hits different.
Oh yeah, middle school was that ripe age for me where I was like, no, I'm gonna shove this shit as far into the corner as I can and never think about it.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you kind of knew from an early beginning. How like so? Do you have any like childhood memories or like stories that you can think of that you look back on? And you're like, oh my god, I was so gay.
Oh, I have plenty.
Oh
I have
great.
plenty. Um, my friend, I was at a sleepover with my friend, and she was listing off all these guys that she liked. There was like 10 people, and I was sitting there like, I kind of came to the realization, like, am I supposed to be feeling like this? And I'm just like, oh no, no, I'll find a guy someday,
Uh huh.
someday. Like, kind of me, just like kind of having to force myself to like guys to try to fit in. Um,
Hmm.
Looking back, I'm like, I was so dumb. Like, I was so dumb.
Well, hey, not everyone knows about things earlier on. I know I certainly didn't, especially because at the time schools did absolutely nothing to teach about it.
Right, right.
That's something that's only kind of more recently come to be a thing, and even now it's still not taught very well.
I feel like it is so important to teach kids that that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just mention it. Like it doesn't even have to be like in depth. Just be like, "Oh, girls can like girls, boys can like boys." That would be have been so much more helpful for me.
Yeah, for sure. Because then also a big deal of it is when you first start like recognizing that in yourself or feeling that way, you don't feel sane. Like you feel like you are not correct, and even if
Right.
schools just like said literally anything, I feel like you would feel so much better about it.
Oh, definitely.
Did you have any other childhood stories?
Childhood stories.
I know. Thinking is hard.
Thinking is very hard. I don't use my brain often. But when I first learned about like what the LGBT community was, I was just like to myself, I'm like, okay, okay, so I've never liked a man in my entire life.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I would literally marry the first woman I saw if she like smiled at me.
Uh-huh.
I know, I know. I figured this out. I'm so smart. I must be bisexual.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. That is, mm-hmm.
What a conclusion. 9,000 IQ.
Yes. Roxy, please stop barking. She's barking in the background. I'm gonna have to like mute all of that. Oh well. Um,
What can you do?
yeah, what can you do? Dogs, they'll do their thing, and I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, no, when I first realized that I had an attraction to men, I thought that I was like, my first instinct was like, oh fuck, I'm gay. God damn it. Because I didn't want to be gay. And I thought I only liked guys, but and then I was like, wait, no, 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 Ryan, Ryan, let's keep a level head here. You also like girls, okay? So you're bisexual, Ryan. Don't panic. And then it went from there, and then I was like, I eventually realized I was pan, but people have heard about that because I've said it many times
Hmm.
before in the podcast. Have you come out to many people at all?
Um, I kind of like, yeah, pretty much. I'm very open now. I'm like the only openly gay person in my grade.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like in eighth grade, like I actually told one of my friends, I'm like, hey, like I like girls. And then she told someone else, and then that
Oh,
person told the entire grade.
oh no.
So like I'm just like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, that's it's not a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
If someone tells you that they are queer, don't tell anyone else, okay? Because it's none of their business. This person is, unless the person is like giving you that like option, like, hey, you can tell other people. Don't do it, because
Yeah.
a person telling you that they're queer is, I'd say, like probably 9 times out of 10, them confiding in you, be like, please just, I need someone to talk to, and you're a person that I trust.
Yeah. Um, so one time I was gonna come out to someone and we were riding bikes and I was just like, hey, what are your opinions on the LGBT community? And she's like, oh well, I'm Christian, so like I don't support that, but like I'm not gonna be hateful. I just don't support it. I'm like, got it, got it. So
Mm,
back into the closet. We're just gonna shimmy our way back into the closet. It's comfy in here. Please don't hurt me.
the depressed little shimmy into the closet. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, who I okay. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever understand the religion aspect of like, oh, well, I can't accept you because of my religion.
Right.
Because I feel like religion is really just like, you're supposed to like treat others like
Right.
well.
Yeah, and, like even if there is that one tiny little part of the Bible which is heavily debated about, like the rest of the Bible is like you should be nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire point.
Yeah. I just don't get it. Also, the thing that you said is definitely something that I've heard before. It's like, I won't be supportive of it, but I won't be hateful. It's like, what? You can't, I don't think you can really do both of those things.
I, I don't understand people.
Yeah, if you're not supportive,
It's very odd.
then you're kind of being hateful.
Right. They're doing like mental gymnastics to like it's like mental gymnastics. They're like, yeah, like I don't support you, but like I don't hate you. That makes me a good person, right?
Yeah, it's like making the quote unquote exception for me, like
Right.
saying you don't hate me. It's like, oh, gee, thanks. Plus, people that hate on others, and I get like, this is just a general thing, but specifically about like the queer community. It's like, if you're gonna do that, that is using so much of your mental effort that I do not understand.
It's like when people like purposely misgender a trans person. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like you're putting in way too much effort to be too much of your brain energy is going towards being an awful person.
Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you actually decide or want or choose to do that? Because that's just way too much work on your end, honestly, and it gives you nothing.
Exactly.
So you already kind of touched on it, but because of, the whole your friend telling other persons. But were there other situations where coming out was difficult for you, or even like was coming out like difficult for you like mentally? Because I know it can be very stressful.
Yeah, I had to take a lot of time to kind of like accept myself first before I told other people, which I think is like you kind of have to do that because like if you don't accept yourself, then it's really hard for you to like I don't know how to word this like it's not easy to see how other people would accept you if you don't accept yourself. If
Mm-hmm.
that makes any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I kind of came out to a few close friends first, and then eventually, like after I got outed, I told my parents.
Mm-hmm. Did that end well?
It was it went surprisingly well. My dad kind of didn't care, and my mom was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and that was the end of it.
All right, that's a lot better than some people get.
Oh yeah, I'm very thankful.
Yeah, that is very good to hear because some
Yes.
people get way, way worse, and it's even though it could have been better, uh, it's certainly a good thing still.
I think my favorite response to me coming out to someone is there's this guy and like uh I forgot exactly what the conversation was, but he thought I was bi and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Are you bi?" And I'm like, "No, actually I'm gay." And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I love gay people."
What? Being bi is also being gay.
I know.
Oh, that's great.
Great dude. Very 10 out of 10.
I mean, yeah. Listen, if a person loves gay people, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little weird, I guess, but you know what? It's
Yeah,
it's
it's like
it's the thought
okay.
that counts. Also, I totally understand what you're saying when you say like you have to accept yourself first, because I first like started to realize that I wasn't straight in like 7th or 8th grade, and I didn't come out to a single
Mm.
person until senior year of high school. And even that was like with
Ah.
a very close friend. So it was like, yeah, we're gonna wait on that one, and then we'll just deal with it later. We'll put it in a little box, wrap it up real nice, and just kind of we'll wait until the time is right. We'll wait until Christmas Day.
It's my Christmas gift. It's your Christmas gift. Just give them a box. You open it, just rainbow flag.
Yeah, here's my present. I'm queer. I'm gay. Congratulations. So you told me before we started recording that you have had experiences with bullying because of you being gay. God forbid. And
Mm-hmm.
uh I'd like I'd I'd like to talk about that a little bit because I think it's important or good for others to hear because sometimes they're going through similar situations and they just
Yeah.
need to hear that other people have gone through it as well.
For me, it wasn't so much like people like going up to my face and being like, "Oh, you're gay." Blah." It was like a lot of talking behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember there's like this one year this new kid came to our school and like I kind of became sort of friends with him and like he was talking to some of the like more quote unquote popular kids.
Mm-hmm.
And like he mentioned me, he's like, "Oh yeah, she's like really gay. Did you know that?" Like, huh. And like also just people kind of staring at me in the locker room. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, I'm just here to change too. Come on, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And like I specifically remember this one time where like there were these two. You know how like so they were like kind of whispering to each other and kind of like looking back at me.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird. So so like I kind of like looked over at them and they were like, "Oh, hey Maddie, how's it going?"
Oh.
And someone came up to me and they're like, "Don't you listen to what those people say? They're just being so mean and they're just so rude and blah 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 and like they're
Mm-hmm.
just being hateful." And I'm like, "Oh, so that's what they were doing."
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah, that's not fun.
not fun.
Like I feel like when people talk behind your back like that, that's honestly one of the worst feelings in the world,
Right.
because like you just feel so alone in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, because you know that they're talking about you negatively, but you don't know what they're saying or like why they're doing it.
Exactly.
It's like they're not even this is going to sound kind of awful, but they're not even putting the effort to say it to your face.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely. Yeah. People are mean.
Mhm. Okay, so I fucking hate the thing where like if you're in like the locker room changing and like people will stare at you because of your sexuality. It's like, listen, I don't fucking give a goddamn about you. All right?
Right.
Here's the deal, okay? The chances are I'm not going to have any interest in you. And the other thing is, if you're
Exactly.
going to be this much of an asshole, there is absolutely no chance, zero, that I will ever look at you in that way. Ever.
Exactly.
Just because your sexuality is different doesn't mean that you're going to look at people any differently.
Yeah. It's just. It's so annoying.
The thing is, you should just like if you're in a locker room changing, like chances are you're gonna be respectful about anything. Like
Yeah.
there are co-ed locker rooms like throughout the world, and people are fine with that.
Hmm.
They handled that. They are respectful about things, and if that can exist, then you being gay in a locker room can exist.
Sometimes with some of these girls that are so mean about it, I'm like, hon, don't flatter yourself.
Exactly. It's like, listen, I don't find you attractive at all, so you can stop worrying. Are there any things that like you would say to people who are in a similar situation or who are getting bullied for their sexuality?
Yeah, I would kind of just say, like, don't listen to them. Just don't. Like, their opinions really don't matter. They're so close minded that, like, valuing their opinion is just a waste of your time and your energy. So just know that, like, there are plenty of people out there who support you and
Mm-hmm.
love you just the way you are. And you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to like, let these few select people dictate how you view yourself.
Yeah. And I know that that can be hard at times because sometimes you single that out and that's the only thing that you hear, but it truly is not the majority of people. It is a few people that are being rude to you, and no matter what, there will always be people out there that care about you and that support you, just like we do here. We care about you.
Yeah.
We support you. That's fucking why I have so I have this whole podcast thing. It's like I I I made this because I want to be supportive of all the peoples under the queer branch because they don't necessarily get that all the time. And that's also why well partially why I've reached out to so many different people because I wanted to get the voices uh of you know different experiences and different identities and sexualities. Like I've now had like pansexual people, I've had lesbians such as yourself, and I have a gay man coming on earlier or later, not earlier. What the fuck am I saying? And and I've had different identities such as a trans man and a non-binary person, and it's really just it just goes to show that there is a really big community out there that will support you and that
Mhm.
will care about you. Um, no matter where you are or who you are, there are people that do care. I say as I drink a big sip of water.
Water is good. Stay hydrated, y'all. This
Yes.
is a threat.
Buy your Kinda Queer branded water today.
We drink the chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say the Kinda Queer water has chemicals in it that turn you gay. Imagine.
Ever notice how gay people love frogs?
Oh, oh my God, you're onto
It's not a
something.
coincidence. I'm on to something.
All gay people love frogs, and that's because the frogs secrete chemicals.
That turn the humans gay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. When I was 6 years old, I picked up a frog. Ever since, I was a flaming homosexual.
Yes, can confirm. I swallowed a frog whole at the wee age of 2.5 years old, and now I've been gay for life.
It be like that sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So another thing that I asked you about before recording is I wanted to know like some of your interests and those that relate to the LGBTQ community, and you brought up music, and I was excited to hear about that because I like music.
I listen to a lot of queer artists. Like I have a lot of just music on my phone of all different genres.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could put my playlist on shuffle and be listening to Slipknot and then Frank Sinatra.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, there are like just plenty of queer artists out there, and there are like famous artists who like you probably didn't know were queer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lead singer of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, he's bisexual.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a fun fact for you.
Yay.
Um, there's a band called Hailstorm, and their lead singer, Lizzie Hale, she's also bisexual.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, and like obviously, I listen to Girl in Red.
I was gonna ask that.
Yes, I have all of her songs.
I have actually, surprisingly, I've never listened to it before. I don't know
Oh,
why. I probably should,
shame.
even though I'm not a lesbian. I feel like I should.
Yeah, no. She's just she's really good, very talented. 10
Mm-hmm.
out of 10. She like also talks about like mental health and stuff in her
Mm.
songs.
Gotta love it.
Same thing with Cave Town. Cave Town, a lot of mental health stuff. Uh, I have a friend who he spends his entire life just analyzing Cave Town lyrics. He's great.
That's a perfectly reasonable thing to spend your life doing.
Yeah, but there are very many queer artists, because I feel like queer people kind of just flock to the arts. But like most of the people in band are gay, theater obviously.
What? No.
Ah,
I was in theater. I can't be gay.
ah.
No, I'm totally gay. I think a lot of well, I don't want to assume, but I'm assuming, which makes an ass out of you and me, that a lot of like people that are LGBTQ end up like flocking to the arts, as you said, because it gives them a way to express themselves, which a lot of times they feel um, they aren't able to do traditionally, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's a good place for that. Also, like I mean, the joke is that all theater kids are gay, and I'd say that's a good reason for LGBTQ people to join theater because it's just another small little
Yeah.
community that you can join in and be like supported by.
Yeah, definitely. You don't even have to be on stage. You could be a stage manager, you could do tech. Like if you're looking to find queer friends, theater.
Yes, yes. I was a lead actor in my day up on Broadway, doing my thing. Best I was rated best actor in the world at one point by some guy. Um but in fact I was just a low life techie doing the lights. That's not techies aren't low lifes. I'm making a joke. It's a joke about myself. I'm sorry.
Techies are great.
Yes.
Always stressed out though.
I yes, I can confirm techies are always stressed. Not to say
Mm.
that the actors and actresses aren't, but the techies definitely are.
I was stage manager for Turkey Fest, and I had to stop two separate people from having a panic attack.
Uh
So,
yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, and for those listening, Turkey Fest is our school's talent show. I don't know why I struggled to say that so much. Are there any other LGBTQ artists that like you're especially a big fan of?
Yes, actually. Obviously, King Princess, she's great. If you don't know, I'll sum her up briefly. It's like her music is kind of like alt pop, and her
Mm-hmm.
personality is just absolute crackhead, and I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
It's amazing. She's great. Um, I found a pretty indie artist. Her name is Butch Baby, and her music is kind of like jazz, punk, rock, alt.
That's okay.
There's saxophone. Um, and her music is really cool, really edgy, very much like it. I have an entire playlist on my phone. It's over. It's I think it's about 2 hours long. All of gay music.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I am always impressed by people that like I mean it doesn't surprise me in the slightest for you, but I'm always impressed by like people that really know music and like know artists and like things about the artists very well because I'm very much not like that. I'll hear a song and be like, "Oh, it's that song." Like I am very much a musical baby. Um, I just don't know music. I enjoy it, but I don't know it.
Yeah. Uh because of my dad, like he kind of exposed me to a lot of music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I know it all. I know it all. But like, all right, other queer artists. Oh, may I mention Against Me? So they were really big in like in the 90s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And their lead singer was born male, but
Mm-hmm.
then like she came out as a trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of like when that wasn't really accepted, and she was one of the first like actual like really big musicians to come out as trans.
Mm-hmm.
So Laura Jane Grace is absolutely a legend. She lives rent free in my mind all the time.
Uh-huh. I love hearing about different people. Um, okay, so for those of you who listened to our last podcast, I had a lovely conversation with MJ about femboys, and you know, even though I know you'd support the femboys, I know you wouldn't be attracted to them. Um, but there are things that I have no fucking clue about, even though I should because education is good and you should educate yourselves. But tell me about masc and femme lesbians, which I know nothing about, but I am happy to listen and I want to know about it.
Right. So it's kind of self-explanatory. Masked lesbians tend to dress like traditionally masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and very important thing right now. There are a lot of like lesbians, like white lesbians on like TikTok or whatever, calling themselves studs. Do not do that because I recently found out that that is a term for people of color.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, big important. Do not make mistake. And like femme lesbians, they kind of get some. I don't know. I wouldn't exactly call it hate, but like a lot of people just assume they're straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I would imagine it would be very annoying to be a femme lesbian and people just being like, "Oh, you like men?" Uh,
Uh-huh. And 90 times out of 10 it'll be 90 times out of 10. Wow.
good math.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it'll be a guy that asks that because they assume it's their right to have a woman be attracted to them.
Yeah, that's very, very annoying. But yeah, there's like a bunch of different aesthetics. Like cottagecore is the it's great. We love cottagecore lesbians.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds exciting.
Okay, so think like flower dresses,
Uh,
teapots, and
oh.
living in a cottage in the woods with
Oh, hell yeah.
yes,
It's,
yes.
that sounds like some like Disney princess sort of thing.
That's kind of the vibe.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
Hmm. Uh, the lesbians that scare me the most,
uh, Go on.
um, they're called Hey Mamas lesbians.
Uh,
They are very, very scary. Basically, they say the words "Hey Mamas" in like a really sexual way.
oh.
It's quite disturbing. I don't like it. They're like, they have the personality of straight boys.
Oh. That's never a good thing. Well, I shouldn't say that because that is straight phobic, but
Heterophobic.
heterophobic, yeah. But who fucking
So
cares?
heterophobic, guys.
Listen, if you're a hetero man
Why are
or
we here?
woman or yeah, um, just 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 know that you are discriminated against by the LGBT community, but that's not necessarily true. I was joking. And if you're an ally, thank you.
Yes, we appreciate our allies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they tend like Hey Mamas lesbians tend to be like more mask. They tend
Mm-hmm.
to like so basically like a hoodie and like maybe
Uh,
like a football jersey over that.
uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't
I can picture this very well.
I don't relate.
uh do you consider yourself any type of lesbian or do you just kind of go with whatever?
Definitely like goth.
Mm-hmm.
Very goth. I love black. I wear it all the time. Favorite color, hands down.
Are there certain types of lesbians that you're more attracted to?
Cottagecore lesbians are the most
Cottagecore?
adorable people in the world.
Uh-huh.
They're literally like, "You want to go flower picking?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I want to go flower picking."
That is such an aesthetic too. Like you as like goth and them as pretty flower picking girl. Uh, I like that. That's good.
There are so many aesthetics in the lesbian community. So many. So many.
Uh huh.
And of course, you have like the average, like, kind of short hair, flannel, how I dressed in eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
I think somewhere around ninth grade, I'm just like, what if I just wore all black all the time?
I mean, you do you. There's nothing wrong with wearing all black. I wanted to ask you because I realized I should have been asking this like earlier on, like from the very beginning to like compare answers. But I wanted to ask like have you taken the quiz?
Many of them.
Okay, I'm glad you understood what I was asking. I'm really glad.
Yeah. You just threw me way back to like seventh grade on my phone, just being like, "Am I gay?"
Uh-huh. Oh, yes. I feel like that is the quintessential test of
Oh,
every gay person ever.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Once I took one in my eighth grade English class.
Oh, that's
um,
nice.
Back of the room, just "Am I gay?" on my school issued Chromebook.
Oh, hell yeah.
Those were the No, those were not the days. I was not happy in eighth grade.
Oh, well, at least you had a fun quiz to take.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I definitely took a bunch of quizzes. Not just one. It was like first, am I gay? Am I bi? Am I pan? It's like Ryan, just fucking just figure your shit out, man, dude. Come on. And then the other question that I have to ask is does chair work for you? Like does sitting a thing that you can do
Chair no
normally?
work. Chair not good. No chair. Ever
Uh-huh.
since a very, very young age, my parents be like, "Maddie, why can't you sit correctly in your chair?" And now like they gave up on me around the age of 8.
Sitting is a struggle, man.
So I have ADHD
Mhm.
and I'm gay. So chairs are just so much spite towards chairs.
Mhm.
In third grade, before like I was diagnosed with ADHD and they like put me on Adderall, I remember taking the MCAS.
Oh.
That was, you had to sit still and just take a test.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if for some reason you're listening to this and you're not from Massachusetts, it's just a standardized test and it's very boring.
Yeah.
And you have to take it from like third grade to 12th grade. It's not good. Not good.
I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, so lucky. I don't think that they're having it because of COVID. Not sure. Don't quote me on that, but like, I don't know. Maybe the teachers will figure out that intelligence is not measured by your ability to retain information and sit
Yeah.
a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. So, chairs don't work out for me. They just don't.
Yeah. They also don't work for me, but I have like a special I have special struggles with it because number one, I can't sit normally. But that becomes a real problem for me because I also can't sit not normally because I am very, very big, large, tall man.
Yes. I have to crane my neck to look up to him. If I ever want to talk to him, I'd just be like, "Hey Ryan, how's it going?"
Yeah. And like trying like sitting is just fucking hell for me because if I sit normally, it's not comfortable. But if I try to sit abnormally, it's also not comfortable because I don't fit properly into any seat that I sit in.
I am a very small person, so I just kind of like I can do whatever I want with my legs. They sometimes don't even touch the floor.
I wish I had that pleasure sometimes. But instead I'm 7'6".
That's his actual height.
Yes, that's my actual height. Don't look it up.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You'll be frightened by what you see. All of it is in the ankles. My ankles are very very long and tall.
Everything else about him is normal size, but his ankles are just so enormously huge.
My ankles are at least a foot tall. I don't know how it happened, but like one day I just had a growth spurt and I was like, "Oh, there go my ankles."
You can't even see them anymore. There's clouds in the way.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm just very small, very tiny.
Well, I mean, comparative to me, yeah, but that's most people. So
Yeah, but I can play hide and seek,
that's
like
a good point.
boss.
I can stand behind a tree and I'll just stick out still. It's like I can't hide anywhere.
Yeah.
Actually no, I can shrink my size down and I can fit inside a little drawer.
Oh yeah. Sometimes he can't get out, so he just screams.
Yeah. It's like help.
Or just like Ryan.
Yeah, or just re-enlarge and break the drawer. So, do you have any uh questions for me, or do you have anything that you would like to say to the wonderful, beautiful audience?
To the audience, you're freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't take that compliment, I'll be very sad.
Mm-hmm. Don't
Uh,
make her sad. Don't let that be the
don't
true
do it.
case.
Don't do it. I'll cry. I
She
will.
she will. I can confirm she will cry.
No, I don't. I guess I don't really have any questions.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for joining me today on this podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. It's been an absolute joy. Um, and thank you to all you beautiful people listening and watching this. I appreciate it. I'll have more podcasts coming out eventually. Also, I gained a lot of support and nice comments from the last one, so thank you. And yeah, this has been the Kinda Queer podcast, hosted by a couple of kinda queer folks. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Fuck. My brain
Words
is
are hard. Take your time.
is not functioning today.
Mm.
Whoo! And I have to do a bunch of schoolwork later. That's fun.
Me too. I'm trying to figure out brain. Brain. Ah.
Uh-huh. Feel that.
um. No, I don't. I guess I don't really have any questions.